So new sykkuno victim comes forward saying he finished inside her without protection at an Evo Las Vegas hotel room. Says readers added context. Streamer Leia described willingly sharing Sykkuno's Evo hotel room, giving him oral sex on the first night. How often does that usually happen? Fucking first night? And supposedly this was supposed to be his moderator or something like that. And asserting, when he finished inside her during consensual sex the next day, she did not stop and say stop and later express regret. Okay. So she gave this guy oral sex. Then the following day, had sex. He's asking, "Hey, can I nut inside you?" And he's like, she's like, okay, kind of. This is like,
I can say it at least. If you go to a guy's apartment, hotel, or whatever, and Julie, it seems to be the first time meeting, I believe. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen.
right. I just don't understand. Like, she just I'm just gonna go to this guy's his room and just chill out. I guess like, so I guess she thought maybe by doing this, she was under the impression that he might have a relationship with me. And suppose how old does it say how old she was? I'm assuming was she like how old is this woman? Do we know?
Um, I'm pretty sure we do know she's very she's probably on the younger side at least. I would imagine. But I mean, he's pretty popular, and a lot of girls are fawning over him. So it's just
Yeah, I would say this. Usually, when you think of these guys that are fuckboys and shit, like playboys and all that, you think of some Chad fucking dude, not like this fucking guy who literally fucking every time he laughs, his mouth, you know what I'm saying, kind of shit. But but yeah, I guess you know. All
I
right, so let me
went to
see.
Evo Las Vegas alone, but I wasn't alone.
But I wasn't alone.
I shared a hotel room with Sykkuno. But I didn't know that he had other intentions.
I just don't buy this, man. What do you mean, like? So what she's saying off the get go is that she didn't realize that he had intentions to fuck her, like when he went to the hotel room. But like, so it's just I'm not buying this.
And I didn't ask him to share a room with me. I just simply asked him, "Hey, are you going to Evo Las Vegas?" He said yes. And I said, "Oh, I'm trying to go this year. I'm looking at hotels and everything's so expensive. Do you pretty much have like any recommendations? Like I know he lives in Las Vegas." And he said, "Oh, you're planning on coming. I actually have room if you just want to like room with me." And I said, and I at first was not against it. I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, "No, I don't want to intrude. Like, I don't mind getting my own hotel and all this." Like, I was in.
No, she. All right, so this is a lie already, right? She doesn't mind getting a hotel. She was already complaining to the guy about hotels being expensive.
Listen, on being like, "Oh no, it's fine." And then he said, "No, like I have extra room. I already paid for it." And I even asked him, I'm like, "Are you rooming with a group or with friends?" And he said, "No, but there's two beds, so like you'll get your own bed." You know, like
Two beds. That's kind of normal most hotels.
Yeah. So I took his offer. Being a dumbass, I took his offer, but I did later. I even offered to pay him back. I said, "How much should I save up for accommodations?" And he said, "Oh, no."
How much should I save up for accommodations?
So she's like, okay. She's saying, okay, I can pay you back for the room and everything else and stuff. And he's just saying, oh, no, you're good. And
right.
That just doesn't make him a bad person.
But when does this conversation happen, though? She says later, right? Like, She gave him fucking oral sex on the first night. So when would this conversation come up?
I even offered to pay him back. I said, how much should I save up for accommodations? And he said, oh, no. No, you don't
Maybe
have to
all
pay me
this
back.
happened before she
Like,
actually went.
I already have room for the hotel. You don't have to pay me back. So, yeah, I shared a room with Sykkuno at Evil Las Vegas. And we had plans to watch a movie together. We had plans to watch a horror movie together.
All right, let's get something straight. You shared a hotel room with a guy by yourself. There's nobody else in here. All right, you didn't get any kind of ulterior motives. You also had plans to go out to movie theaters together by themselves. I would consider it. Is that not a date?
It is. I mean, it's a date. That's like what it is.
Until Dawn. That movie's ass. Actually, I didn't even get to finish it, but that movie's ass.
Based.
Have you watched the movie?
He had a hotel even though he was in Vegas. Yes.
I think I watched like the first 30 minutes of it and I stopped. It was really, really bad.
We were watching the movie and he started to get very angsty or something. I don't know how to explain it, but he pretty much tried to make a move on me. And
so this is supposed to be a horror movie, right? Isn't like the typical cliche when you go out on a date with a fucking girl and you go watch a horror movie? It's like you like put your arm around her kind of shit, you know, like.
Yeah.
I don't see how she couldn't put two and two to here together. I don't.
I was fully trying to say like I'm just here to watch the movie. Like I'm just here to watch the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
But me being a dumbass and not being very like what's the word? Very strong in like mentally, not physically. I mean like
Dude, I bet at time this was a dream come true for her, right? If she's like she was this moderator or some shit for Twitch or Discord or whatever it was, like you fucking finally met up with the biggest guy you're following. He's super attractive. Everybody thinks he's Kaiway and shit. You get a room together with just you two. You go out and go watch a movie, a horror movie at that.
Like maybe this is a people pleaser in me, but and maybe I don't know, benefit of the doubt, or because I still thought he was cute, or I don't know.
Okay, still thought he was cute.
He tried to make a move on me, resolute. I don't know, but he made a move on me. It did take like 30 minutes.
Aside from the fact that he cheated on his girlfriend, I don't like sharing this sounds. This is like so personal. There's nothing wrong with this. It sounds
like I don't talk about my intimate life at all, but
sounds pretty normal.
I don't sleep with anyone that I'm not dating.
All right, I don't sleep with anyone I'm not dating. But the first night you fucking
and it didn't happen that night. I didn't want it to happen, so instead, I just gave him oral. Okay.
What is oral not considered sex these days?
Oh,
like
not really.
Really, it's just.
I mean, it's sex, but it's not like it's not. But it's like it's. I don't know. It's still not something that you treat like it's no big deal, right? It's still a big deal. I mean,
I would think that giving a guy sucking a guy
off the first day you meet him or hanging out, it's fucking weird too. I mean,
but I would make an argument. This is more intimate, right? Because like you're doing whatever you can to please the guy here. Like,
And then when he fell asleep, I got out of bed and I just ate a banana and I was just staring out the window. I was
She ate 2 bananas that night.
dissociating. I think I was straight up just dissociating. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? What just happened? And then in the morning, I barely slept that night. Then in the morning, he didn't really want to talk about it. And I was just kind of trying to open it up and talk to him about like what happened. And then we were going to talk about it, I don't know, later or something. I don't know, but I can't remember. But he ends up hugging me. But then pushes me onto the bed from the hug. And
so this is later during the following day, not in the morning time, but later.
We end up having sex. And
now, all right, so okay, I understand she doesn't want to go into graphic detail, right? I understand that,
right?
But if you did want to have sex, you say no, and but she goes through with it, and it's like, well, you don't just immediately just start going to town. Like, you have to take the clothes off, everything else. You're making out with us. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff in between that's setting the mood. What was she doing? Like, I mean, was she a fucking pillow princess? I mean,
or you mean like the fish just fucking lays like down? I mean, I don't. This it sounds pretty consensual to me. The first night you gave him oral sex, you went on that first one, and second night, all right, now things is a little bit easier. Now he fucks you on the second night.
I didn't have it in me to tell him to stop. Yeah. So I just let it happen.
Okay.
And while this was happening, while we were doing it, I always wear protection, and I only sleep with people I'm in a relationship with, so I'm not used to one-night stands or anything like that.
So, alright, so at the beginning of this video, she says she doesn't have sex very often. But obviously, when you always do it, she wears protection. That's totally normal. But I don't... She's coming off like she's very pure here. I'm not buying that.
But we were not using
okay, so here's the thing, right? So, when we talked about earlier, when she says, oh, we're having sex. Okay, well, when you're doing to have sex, one of the first things that is brought up is you got protection. That's one of the first things that come up most of the time. Like, I mean, that always comes up. I find it to be completely rare for that to ever not come up.
Yeah.
I'm legally hard of hearing, if you guys don't know already. But in the heat of the moment, he asked me if it was safe, and
she's doing this entirely with the intention that she wanted to date this guy. And I understand that's fucked up on like Sykkuno's part. Obviously, he's just a playboy, a fuckboy, and he has no intention of actually dating this girl. So that is wrong in that regard. But I don't. At the moment, it sounds like it's purely consensual sex right now. I wouldn't even. I think I watched a video of Asmon's girl saying that she's still considered a victim. I wouldn't really consider that being a victim. I don't.
I didn't hear him, but I just said and he finished inside of me, and then that was it.
So, all right. So he cream pied her,
and then we just laid there for a little bit, and then I brought it up. I asked him straight up, when was your last relationship, and do you sleep around often? Like, is this normal for you? Because I told him straight up, I do not date with people. I do not sleep with people I do not date. I do not sleep with people that I do not date. That is just...
All right. Clearly, she does there. You don't. The first night, you don't give oral sex. Second night, you don't fucking lay down and have sex with somebody. If you don't do this with people you don't date. At this moment, I would already. She's like, yes, they went on a date. I would not consider them dating right now.
I mean, I'll even go further. Okay, he came inside her, and then they just laid there after it was done. Like, don't get up and get cleaned up or anything like that.
Don't clean up or anything.
Like, people,
I'm curious.
Someone should be freaking out. It's like, hey,
yeah, you just
might
go
get pregnant or
me.
something.
Do I need to go and get some Avterra or Plan B or something like that?
A moral of mine. I find it very intimate with whoever. So, and I don't actually have. I've only ever slept with 3 people. Well, 4 now. But I've only been in 3 relationships. So it was very new to me. I've never had a one-night stand or anything like that. So I asked him, I'm like, is this normal for you? Like, do you sleep around a lot? And he said,
I didn't find out how old she was.
He was being around the bush the whole time that I was asking these questions, by the way. I'm like, then why did you sleep with me? And he said,
"Oh, I do this."
Giving me really half-ass answers.
Like, do we know what this girl's name is?
Leia,
right? Okay.
I've known you for a while, and I know you're very sweet, and you look nice. And then I asked him this question, and I said, "When was your last relationship?" And he said 3 years ago. So in my head, it's crazy that's why I feel so blindsided and backstabbed, because I asked
they met in
questions.
2020 when she was 19 and Sykkuno was 28. Sykkuno's former mod. So they met in 2020 when she was 19 and Sykkuno was met in 2020 when she was 19, Sykkuno was 28. Reveals Sykkuno didn't start going after her until the last 2 years, and 6 years they've known each other.
Like, I'll say this, right? He's very Leonardo DiCaprio vibes, right? I mean,
it was
but it's legal.
2024. Wait, so they met in 2020. So I'm assuming, but they've known each other for 6 years. Planning to play together in box office TFT boot camp, or they did the deal without production. She regrets it and cried for 2 hours. But so this would have been in 2024-ish if they met. So they would have had sex around 2024.
And they ended up being complete lies. So when I really felt blindsided and backstabbed by all the information that was coming out, I really was, because I asked those 2 questions, like if he was in a relationship or like when his last relationship was, and if he sleeps around, and he told me no, and 3 years ago. And after that, I went on about my day, and then I ended up running into someone I'm very close with, and they offered me to stay in their hotel room because I didn't feel comfortable sleeping in mine. So I ended up sleeping at my friend's hotel room for the next 2 nights. And you guys can even see on Twitter, if you guys look at my Evo outfits, the first outfit is in a very different hotel room than the other 2, and that's because I ended up moving to another hotel. The first one is in the one that I'm with Sykkuno. And I ended up sleeping in the hotel that me and Sykkuno had on the last night because he ended up checking out early and sleeping at his house.
Alright. This guy gave her a one-night stand. Obviously, I guess that would hurt her feelings to an extent. Alright. If there's any kind of trauma involved, granted, why would she go back and sleep at the same hotel where this shit happened? I mean, she I guess she still needed another night to stay. I guess she had to, but like, would you really? Because it sounded like she made plans before that. She could afford her own hotel. So why go and stay out this one for the last night? And he's not gonna be there. But if this is truly like some kind of drama related, or she's got trauma from this, why would she do this?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of these girls here are just hoping that she is the one for him and whatever, right?
I can fix some kind of attitude, right? Is that like, yeah, I can fix him?
Yeah, I could fix him. Maybe he'll pick me or something.
That was the only time I saw him. We ran into each other a couple of more times at Evo, but we didn't really say anything, and he didn't really want to talk about what happened. And then I struggled with this for a while, and I had someone in my life be there for me and kind of try to help me through this. And my dumbass tried talking about it with Sykkuno later, trying to like understand what happened, because it's not something I'm used to. And he pretty much beat around the bush the whole time. And then he would say things like, "Oh, I'm confused. I just wanted to know what you felt about that." And I said, "No, I want to know what you felt about this, because I already told you how I felt." And
you imagine what would have happened if well, obviously maybe it didn't take, possibly, but I would assume that she took contraceptive after the fact. If he actually got her pregnant and shit, because he bust like. Is this something? I wonder if Sykkuno's been doing this shit a lot. Like, we could have fucking Sykkuno babies all over the place running around right now, you know?
I know she did say that she got tested, I believe, or something. I mean smart to do if you go around with some guy and
right. So
not doing
wonder,
protection and whatever.
Is this pretty common for him to just go around and bust inside all these girls with no protection? I mean, I get the guy would have been like, well, I see. I think they said he's 34, right? So he would have probably 2024. He would have been 34 at the time. I would assume like you wouldn't want kids around and shit, you know, like that mess. Pretty irresponsible.
Yeah, he said he was sorry that he made me. He was sorry that he gave me that impression, and that he would want to reconcile. And me being the dumbass I am, I still wanted to be friends with him for some reason. So I did, and that's why we still played games. And then I ended up seeing him at TwitchCon at the Riot Party, and we actually talked in person for the first time since. And he actually brought that part up and said like he was sorry and stuff, and that he was sorry for giving me the impression. So I really thought he was, you know, honestly sorry, and I accepted it. And I thought I was the only one, because I literally straight up asked him if he sleeps around, and he said no. So sorry, I thought I was the only one. Did I think we were going to be in a relationship? No. I knew how much older he was than me, and I was like, why would he want to be in a relationship with someone much younger?
No.
So
that's fucking cap as fuck right now.
I didn't really think that, it was gonna go anywhere. So yeah, I just said
him being an older guy shit. This isn't fine with me, dude. I don't look. When I worked at that textile mill, I said this before in another video. I had these two women were talking about the man they fantasize about. These two women, no shit, told me they would drink Michael Douglas if given the chance. You know who Michael Douglas is? That's the guy from the Ant-Man movie, the older guy who played in Mighty Ducks. It's like the teacher.
Yeah, Michael Douglas.
They would drink him. I was like, holy.
I think it's fine. Like, we'll just reconcile as friends.
This guy would have been 20, 30 years older than them at the time they told me this.
I mean, I knew a girl also. She was like, this is back when I was still in high school. I was working at a fast food joint, and she's like, I think in her early 20s, and she's about like, she was a black woman, and she said that if there's ever a white guy she ever sleep with, it would be Matthew McConaughey.
But yeah, it goes both ways. You can't sit there and say, oh, he was 34 and I'm a really young girl. I don't, dude, you could be a young guy, dude. When you're going to high school and you have that hot ass fucking teacher, it is entirely wrong for a teacher to do this, sir. But when you're in high school, all you're fucking thinking about is fucking sex. If that hot ass 30-year-old teacher was to ever hit on you in high school, you can say, yeah, it's wrong for her to do. But when you're that young, you're not even thinking about it. All you want to do is like, when that shit happens, yeah, that's like every dude's like fantasy kind of like shit. Yeah, when they're going to high school,
even
or even they're young, like you'd be 18 years old and Jennifer Aniston, like, who was been hot as hell for fucking forever. If she approaches you when you're 18, you can be like, oh no, she's too old for me.
Even then, with some guys, you know, there was one boy in our school that he basically got assaulted. I mean, it was consensual, right? But by an older teacher, and she was ugly as hell.
Yeah.
But for him, he was getting his shit wet. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give a fuck. And it was that disgusting fucking teacher,
Which
fucking giant whale.
You talking about? I'm trying to remember. There was one in second grade. You're not talking about that one, right?
Yeah, it was second grade. Yeah, and they got caught.
I remember her name was Miss Rush, and I don't know. So you could argue that like I don't know. Damn, second grade though. Can you really even like? Can you even get it up or second grade though?
Yeah.
Bro, I swear I probably have mine to like maybe I was in sixth grade. I don't even know if like sixth grade would be a fucking second grade really, dude. He would have been like fucking 10 years old maybe. No, not even that. Maybe 10.
He was around I think 8 or 9 years old was, but yeah, what she was doing,
yeah, she was. I mean, dude, when I had her class a lot, I think she was my homeroom teacher. She was pretty nice though. I remember that time when she had that dollar bill she hung up on the side of the board. That was her first dollar made teaching. And somebody stole that shit. She fucking bawled her eyes out crying constantly. But you know, and back then you never would have thought that she was doing that kind of thing with one of her students. I don't think, dude. I don't even think like second grade that it could have been consensual in that regards. I mean, like if I was in the 10th grade, and there I was like, you could maybe make that argument, but obviously it's still not okay, right? I just don't.
Yeah, it's not.
But so after she has sex with Sykkuno, obviously things are awkward. They don't talk for a while. And it said on the Reddit thread that he didn't start having to have let's see. He didn't start trying to have sex with her until the last 2 years of the 6 years they known each other. So they met in 2020 when she was 19 and 20. He was in 28. Now, does that mean that did all this happen back in 2020? I would assume so. She would have known him. She would have known Sykkuno back when she would have been like 14, 15? Or does that mean like she would have been 23 when all that happened? They met in 2020. I would assume that when they met in 2020 is when it happened. I literally shared a hotel room with Sykkuno. I gave him oral, and then when he fell asleep, I got out of bed and I just ate a banana. I just
I mean, hey, going by the context though, she must have did a damn good job because the dude fucking fell asleep right afterwards. I'm assuming so.
This is great, and then let's go to Muja made a response on this, right? No, well, he didn't make a response to this, but he had a. Let's see. This happened today too, I think, or no, yesterday. Some members of my community have reached out regarding a few concerns, and I want to make sure I properly address them before we fully move on from this topic. Look, I'm flattered that Himomo, this is the girl who created the Google Doc, right? Against Sykkuno. tweeted she
Yeah.
considers me a close friend, and I'm grateful for her trust. But the first time we spoke was on April the 7th. So the video dropped in April the 10th. So within 72 hours of when they first spoke, he created this Google Doc. The video is well done. For it to be an hour long, it is well done. So he did all this in within 3 days and dropped this video out. So this narrative, the video was made as a favor to anyone is simply false.
Yeah, it's true. There was I think a stream, or it might have been recently. I
So
watched so many clips about this stuff going on.
Yeah.
That yeah, he does do videos about 72 hours.
yeah, so he doesn't consider her a close friend, I guess, but she considers him a close friend. I guess obviously because she confided in the guy and she dropped this hit piece on him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make this new video out for it." The truth is, Sykkuno's serial cheating and manipulation was only the tip of the iceberg. Is this really manipulation though? Obviously he cheated, but him going around and being a fuckboy, did we ever hear that he was making promises to like? Obviously, there's that one girl. Oh, he wanted to get a cat with me and blah blah blah.
Okay, so the last girl, he was manipulating them. He was the last girl after they had sex. What was she asked about relationship, and he basically told her he didn't have one or something, yeah, et cetera, et cetera. It just yeah, he was manipulating them. I mean, he was, but it's fuckboy behavior. I mean,
It's just fuckboy behavior. I just okay. And I was hoping the video would encourage the many others who have stayed quiet for years to finally find the courage to talk about their experiences. So, since this video, we know of Hamomo and that girl Leia. Has there been any other girls? I know some girls have come out and said he was flirting with him. There was one about some girl that said they messaged crab or some shit together. I think that was rage baiting. But have we really seen anything else of Sykkuno actually her actually fucking these other girls? I don't even know. Did he actually even have sex with the hormonal girl, or did they actually meet
I
up?
don't think he did. I don't think he did. No.
So at the moment we only know of him having sex with the girl Leia. That was one of his
But I
former
mean,
moderators.
a lot of the girls have pretty much came together somewhere, and somehow Bao was involved in it. I don't know if she got involved with Sykkuno.
Well, so didn't somebody come find out that the girl that supposedly Sykkuno is dating is Bao's editor? I don't know how is that true?
I wouldn't know. I have no clue on that. It just
Oh, let's see. I'm gonna Google it real fast. Let's see. Unfortunately, with the current state of affairs, that doesn't seem like it will happen anymore. Even if they were to somehow fit the image of a perfect victim, I don't blame them whatsoever. Instead, I can only wish them the best. So he's saying that he doesn't think any more victims will come out simply because the entire narrative. And let's be honest, this is Mooch's fault. If you want to make a video on him calling him a cheater, then fine. Had it been that, nobody would be defending Sykkuno right now. Nobody would be defending Sykkuno. He's like, oh yeah, he was a fuckboy, but he wasn't married to the girl. Yeah, he definitely cheated on his girlfriend. But the moment he called him a predator, that's when this entire narrative spawned, and that's why everybody is defending Sykkuno.
another thing to add too, though, when it comes to Sykkuno, okay, it's one thing if he's going out of his way trying to talk to those girls, but a lot of times they were, at least what we've seen so far, they were the ones initiating. They're the ones starting up conversations. Like, I mean, he would follow them on Twitter or Instagram. They go like, "Oh my gosh, Sykkuno followed me," and then so they will send him a DM and he will meet the reply. I mean, it's not like if you want to say him liking their posts, I suppose, but that's come on, that's bullshit. I mean, literally, the girls they wanted it. The issue is he didn't pick them because he was just for him it was just fucking Tuesday. He was just getting him some and moving on. He was a fuck boy.
Yeah.
But like, he's cheating you, and you can maybe make a video that say that maybe lying or admitting the truth, not telling girls he got a girlfriend, basically. Because these girls, they want relationships, right? That's what it comes down to, manipulating, right? They want to be in a relationship with Sykkuno, right? That is their dream guy. They're a fan of Sykkuno, and so he's not letting them know that he's in a relationship, and that's why it comes down to where they can be somewhat victims if you look at that perspective, like how Asmund is doing right now. But I don't think they're victims. I think he look, they wanted it. They put it out. And look, if a guy is trying to fuck you on the first day, come on.
Yeah. Instead, I can only wish for the best, and I hope that his ex, who was cheating on for 5 years, can find the peace that she deserves. As for me, I'll continue making videos that millions of people enjoy when prompted, and I'll strive to do the right thing even if it's not training, because that's just how it is. But you literally call him a predator. You throw out that buzz or trendy word because it sensationalizes that news. Simply that is not. It is simply who I am. That will never change, no matter the many vultures that try to desperately farm my name. Thank you for being the best community I could ever ask for, and I'll see you next video. But this is so bullshit because he made this response, or he shitted on Tectone, right? And his entire proof, the argument he used against Tectone, was Mizkif. Mizkif of all fucking people. He used like that proof in trying to defame Tectone. He regard like it's just not true. If you go over the court case, like there's nothing there.
I'll say with the Tecton case, because I went through a lot of this stuff. He was being asked to Pink, but that's really it. I mean, he was being an ass. Was he a great boyfriend? Probably not. But there was those everything seems to literally be consensual. And then, like, I mean, what was so crazy is she admitted it was consensual in one court case. Then, and then this one, it wasn't. It's weird how you can consent something, admit to it as consensual, and then change your story.
That's what blows my mind entirely about that. It's that in one court case, everything consensual, a year or however much longer it was, all of a sudden after they break up, it's not consensual anymore. I genuinely look. Have you seen some of her fucking clips and shit? There's something wrong with her. I don't think she's all there mentally. I watched clips of her. She's at this golf girl gangbang group she's with now, and they go around in all these fucking videos, and they're very lascivious or like promiscuous kind of things. There's one where these two golf girls and his ex is in this video, and he's like, "Oh man, I really love your outfits. Can I see them?" They both can't see their body, but but it's implied that they're both completely naked in public with their dresses laid out on the ground, and they're shivering because they're very cold because they're not wearing any clothes. Man, but that's it. I just, this whole thing's like, I'm gonna follow it some more if any more new shit comes out. But as far as it is, he's just a fuckboy. He's a cheater, not a predator. I just don't see anything else on this. Like, you got any other? What else you want to say about it?
Hey, I think he should hit up SQC, get some collabs going on, right?
Honestly, I can see that happening.
A Sykkuno defender, like heavy.
We gotta look. He should just. I'm telling you straight up. If he goes out and just rebrands, he should just call himself Stud Kuno.
Well, did you see the post the Sky's Toast made? He deleted it actually. But it seemed like actually he was somewhat defending Sykkuno in a.
The Sky's Toast.
Somewhat. Yeah, the Sky's Toast. Yeah, one of his Among Us friends.
Oh right. I think he got called out for Jason. Right, because he was. Yeah, I guess because they all didn't, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I refuse to believe somebody in Sykkuno's friend group, none of them knew he had this girlfriend. I can't, but yeah, that's. Alright, we'll see how this goes, and I'll keep updated with any more of this drama. I think it's hilarious. Like I said, I think he should change his name to Stud Kuno. I think it would be fucking hilarious.